Hi and welcome. My name is Neela. I'm a nutritional therapist, and today I'm going to be walking you through a couple of myths to do with weight loss and also a few steps that you can do to help you on your journey. So, I have got a presentation that I'm going to share with you now, and then we'll walk through that. Okay, So, specifically today, we are going to look at the time that is best suited to eat carbohydrates and what they are, why snacking can be good and not so good for you, and together with some examples, then some information about the gut microbiome and those wonderful slimming bacteria. So these steps are easy and simple that you can do without watching calories, restrictive diets, giving up your favorite foods, searching everywhere for some weight loss tips. That can just actually leave you feeling confused on what to eat. So opening up is actually here now, who knows for how long, but actually in lockdown, it was found that nearly 50% of people felt that they had put on some weight. So now's a really good time to start to address this. So perhaps this is you. Did you at times feel yourself overeating? Perhaps feeling really full after? Or how about late night eating when we get out of our set routine and hooked onto maybe our favourite TV programmes? Or what about this one? A classic example of raiding the fridge, so easily done. Eating out of boredom? Or maybe the other way, where we're just too busy juggling different kinds of schedules. Homeschooling, maybe you're a parent and so eating patterns changed. And then maybe there were those people who felt alone, anxious, and stressed. And so all of these can cause eating habits to change. And maybe you resonated one or two. I know I definitely did. But don't panic, there are things that we can do. So, life is a journey, as we know, from one place to another, and how we travel the journey is important. So, we all went through lockdown, where some of our lives were turned upside down, and some of us may be still in it. And so, our routines have changed. But you've done the first step in actually noticing something's different. And then you can do something about it with some simple tips. And then there's something more deeper that can be done. So, so we've seen how this is a journey, and the first step is noticing how you feel, noticing any signs. Are you snacking more? Drinking more? Has there been an increase in stress and anxiety? Maybe a fall down in routine. Maybe you had to actually establish a new routine. And overall, sometimes we can feel quite sluggish. However, things can actually change. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So at this stage, you want to know about the 3 steps to help banish any excess weight. So these 3 steps are a starting point, a launch pad to set you on the right track. Now, these steps are simple. Anyone can do them, and you can actually take them as far as you want. So I'm all about simplicity. There are just too many complex diets with you should do this, you should do that, and we just need to readdress things and get back to basics. And we need a good, strong foundation first. So, step 3 is progression. So, at the end of the webinar, I'll show you some other steps that you can take to take this deeper. And one of them actually includes a technique that no other nutritionist is doing to help not only with weight loss, but other health concerns. And I love this quote because it is about being different, but going with what's in your heart because you never know where it will lead. So the fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. So it's time to be different, and it is time to take a step forward. So let's have a look at a few myths. So it's all about calories. Well, not exactly true because all calories have the same energy, but different foods will have different effects on your body. So, for example, one scoop of ice cream is like about 200 calories, and one large egg is slightly under that. But the ice cream is likely to cause your blood sugar to increase and your hunger will not be appeased, whereas the protein in the eggs will make you feel fuller. So, by carefully selecting foods that will make you feel fuller for longer, will have an impact on how much you eat during the day. So, myth number two. So, you may have heard to stay away from carbohydrates if you want to lose weight. Well, generally, people are talking about the processed carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, sweets. But carbohydrates are also contained in items such as vegetables, fruits, and grains. So, if you give up all carbohydrates, you'll be missing out on a wide range of nutrients. And let's not forget about fiber, which is a type of carbohydrate, and it's needed to help remove toxins from the body. So, toxins include waste products from food, bacteria, and dead cells. And if these toxins aren't removed, then they can recirculate or stay in the bowel, causing cellular damage. So, it's about eating the right carbohydrate at the right time. So, myth number three, to lose weight, you need to go hungry. So, I remember when I was younger trying all these different types of diets to lose weight. And yes, I would go hungry, but this is not the case with a good, wholesome eating plan. If you skip meals or have very low calorie diet, and remember it's not about calories, then you may cause your blood sugar to drop, which means there is not enough sugar in your bloodstream for energy, and that includes brain energy. So you are likely to become irritable or shaky. Then this can lead to maybe lower willpower to stay on the diet. And in the end, it's just a big circle. You end up eating more. Also, if your body enters a starvation phase, you will actually hold on to the energy and your metabolism lowers. This is the ability to burn calories. So, eating wholesome food, food that you enjoy and makes you feel well, is the key. To take this a step further, you can look at when you eat food because there are studies that show eating within a window each day can lead to the healing of cells. Okay, so weight management is a multi complex thing with so many factors affecting it. For example, if you see a person who may be carrying a little extra weight than maybe the person next to them, please do not think it is because they eat too much. It could be due to a wide range of conditions, such as thyroid issues, medication that they're on, or a toxic buildup. But it also could be down to the foods they are eating. Don't forget that, and portion sizes. So it can be a combination of factors. Now, even though this webinar is based around any excess weight put on over the last few months, it's also worth noting that some people unfortunately have long-term excess weight, which can contribute to a number of health conditions. So in these circumstances, professional help and support may be needed to help these people work through it. So let's get back on track with the webinar. There is hope. So I'd like to introduce myself to you. I'm Nuala. I've been working in the health field for about 25 years. My background was in the corporate world dealing with intense amount of stress. So yes, I'm a bit of a stressful eater, but I've changed the types of foods that I am eating now. So yeah, after a long, hard look at my own health, I decided to retrain. So I practice functional medicine, so it's nutritionally based, which looks at our overall health over a number of areas: food, sleep, lifestyle, and how each of our systems interact with each other. Because it is a combination of factors that contributes to not only our physical and mental well-being too. I also specialize in natural biohacking, which some of you may not have heard of that. This is tools and techniques to jumpstart your body into working more efficiently. And I'm a bit impatient. I want things kind of immediately. So biohacking is fantastic for that, especially as we get older as well. We just need something else. So that's good to help with weight management. And I work with people going through detoxification, stress management, and a new program that I'm going to be launching soon. And that is on aging, how to age gracefully. So where did the journey start? So my journey started looking at energy work, using energy to help heal or support the body, I should say. And it's only vortex healing and crystal healing that I actually do nowadays, as I find them more powerful and often combine them together. So then I began to kind of looking more on the body level, what is out there to help support the body, and of course, food is a great thing to help support it. So what is unique is using a number of therapies together for greater effect. So this is the mind and body connection. So we're discussing weight. So it needs to be remembered that there is a body-mind connection. In fact, the same with anything that we do. So the body and mind are constantly sending messages to each other. Often we are unaware of these messages, but but have you ever felt like something isn't right, that you had this gut feeling which made you feel maybe a bit anxious or fearful? Take my mother, for example. When she feels that something is not right, she has an urgency to go to the bathroom. And then we find out later that there was a circumstance that maybe she shouldn't have attended an event or met a person. There was an instant that she knew something wasn't right. So we can actually learn to pick up signals in the body. So if we have a thought or emotion, and cannot see where the root cause is or have dealt with it in some way, then this energy moves from thoughts. And if the thoughts aren't clear, to emotions and feelings. And if these aren't looked through and really dealt with, i.e., maybe our anger or our control issues, then maybe at some point it can actually go down to the physical body. And that's when some symptoms can occur. So if you have any questions, just make a note of them as we go through the webinar, and then you can actually put them in the chat box as we later on when we come to that section. So timing your carbs well. So carbohydrates, they're one macronutrient along with fats and protein that we need to sustain health. And it's a primary source of fuel for energies for our bodies. And also fat is another energy source, which is a really good source for energy. So carbohydrates are things like sugars and starch and whole grains, found in a variety of foods. Two types: simple carbohydrates, sweets and cakes, found in sweets and cakes and biscuits. They are easy to digest and provide like a burst of energy. They've got like shorter chain of molecules, and so the energy can be released a lot quicker. Complex carbohydrates have a longer chain, so they take slowly to release the energy. They do release energy, and there's some evidence to say that they still cause peaks, but maybe over a longer period of time. So again, with some complex carbohydrates, we need to just be a little bit careful. My all-time favorite, which I absolutely love, is sweet potato with its skin on. Really good for immunity, particularly at this time. It's fantastic. And vitamin A is needed to heal some cells in the gut as well. So you've got gut conditions, very good. And who wants lovely skin and hair as well? And also contains great fiber, and that again helps remove some toxins. So going back, carbohydrates are a source of fuel, energy. So this is a client's, one of my clients' meal plan for a day. So have a look and see what she is consuming. She's eating 4 times a day, actually maybe more because sometimes some diet plans not 100% accurate. So you've got packet cereal, maybe have some sugar. Fruit is great. Yogurt is good as well. You can get coconut yogurts now as well. A quick snack, lunch is a toasted cheese and tomato sandwich, a bag of pretzels, some cake, some fruit in the afternoon. And she actually did make the spaghetti bolognese herself, which is great. And while she was making that, she had a bread roll. And then some drinks throughout the day, some caffeine, some sugar to give her some spikes in energy. So she's eating at 7:30 at night as well, and she's eating a big bowl of spaghetti bolognese. So why do you think this client may be feeling tired and had started to put on weight? So the energy is not used up, it is stored as fat. So this could be quite common when in lockdown. We're not moving around as much as we would normally. The later you eat your last meal, particularly if this contains a lot of carbohydrates, can cause fat stores to increase. Now, this diagram may seem quite complex, but what it is showing is carbohydrates are broken down, like the complex ones, into simple carbohydrates, like the sugars. And if the sugars aren't used up as energy, it will actually be stored in the liver and the muscles as a substance called glycogen. Now, when these stores of glycogen are full, glucose will then be converted to fat for long-term fuel. So think about a few things here. So what time are you eating your last meal? Maybe the last couple of days. Was it 6, 7, 9 o'clock, even later? And what does your meal consist of? And do you go to bed fairly soon afterwards, maybe within an hour or two? What happens then? I think you know the answer. So this is your plan for step number 1. In order to lose weight, you need to diminish those glycogen stores and not contribute to an increase of them. So number 1, and again, these are really simple tips, but they work. Eat your dinner at an earlier time. You can eat your dinner, maybe 30 minutes earlier? Would that be easy for you? Could you do that? Could you eat it an hour earlier? Think about what's manageable for you. And no snacks after, so no eating afterwards. So this allows your body to help with the healing. Do you remember in the fasted state, eating within a shorter period of time? What about maybe eating your breakfast like a little bit later in the day? If you eat breakfast at 8 o'clock, could you have your first meal of the day at 8:30? Then you're eating in a shorter period of time. This is called intermittent fasting. You may have heard of this. But at the moment, just concentrate on dinner. And then you can have a look at your carbohydrates, such as potatoes, rice, pasta. What are you eating at dinner time? Can you halve the amount you would normally eat? If you are eating 2 potatoes at dinner, what about eating 1? Is there a chance that maybe at some point you could look to remove them altogether? Who knows? Have a think about that. And then sweets, so sweet carbs, things like puddings and sugars and biscuits. Can you maybe go without eating them 1 or 2 days a week and then increase your time without them? So again, this isn't complex, this is basic, but this basic is a foundational step. You can really see good improvements. So, our friends snacking, is their friend or foe? There's a lot of people in the health world said, nope, snacks, take out all snacks. But first of all, what is a snack? It's something that is usually consumed between meals. And a lot of people think biscuits, crisps, cake. But it could be a healthy snack as well. So maybe some dips or some fruit, maybe a salad, maybe sushi is one of my favorites. So snacks are food that are quick to eat, generally readily available, and provides us with a burst of energy. Particularly maybe like in the afternoon when you're just really short of energy, you need something quick. And we tend to go for snacks that are tasty, don't we? Tasty, tasty. So, why do we snack? Out of habit, something we always do. Come 3 o'clock, tea time, you always have a couple of biscuits with your tea. Maybe out of boredom or feeling emotional. There's a lot of emotions and stress going on in the last few months. Sometimes our body craves something, crave a nutrient. To see what you're snacking on. For example, if you find yourself snacking on crisps, are you actually getting enough salt in your diet? Are you under stress? Because your adrenals are the organ that releases some of the stress hormones, and it needs salt to support it. Perhaps you're just hungry. Or maybe you're out with a group of friends. Maybe you haven't seen some friends for a long time. Maybe you're having a fun activity. And of course, snacks are very tasty. So, research suggests that a drop in blood sugar stimulates hunger, and it's natural to turn to foods high in carbohydrates since they are a quick energy source. So, some experts think that people who crave carbs are low in certain feel-good chemicals, hormones. So sweet foods and those rich in other carbohydrates fire off feel-good chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. The effects of these chemicals may make a person more likely to eat more carbohydrates. So we like feeling good and we want to continue to feel good. Carbohydrates, whether we know or not, makes us feel good. So we eat more carbohydrates. It's a circle that we're in. So, like I mentioned, you may often hear people saying snacking is bad for you, to stop snacking. If you've tried this, it is hard and it's not about willpower. There is a physical chemical reaction going on in the body that makes us want to snack. So, snacking may be our friend, maybe our foe. As a friend, it can be a quick source of energy if we need it. Extra source of nutrients, particularly if you've got a medical condition and you need to get in more nutrients. Maybe they're just needed to help you get over a stressful period and then you can ease up a bit. They, however, are not good if you're snacking on processed snacks, high in sugar, high in trans fats. And also snacks may have a range of additives and preservatives, especially if you're buying them from the shop. Again, toxic to the body. So which camp do you fall into? Actually, maybe we fall across both. So 5 tips for healthy snacking, and I'm a person that needs snacks. So see if you can reduce the amount of daily snacks, because in lockdown, it's so easy to go to the fridge or cupboard like every 10 minutes because we're stressed or bored. So if you just be conscious of that and just maybe have a set time to have a snack, perhaps. So like, right, 3 o'clock, I'm going to have a snack. If you're having frequent snacks, what about having a bigger breakfast maybe, or a bigger meal before? We often snack when we're hungry. Have your last snack early in the afternoon so you can burn off any extra energy. And there's some people say that you actually may not be hungry, you may be thirsty. So try drinking some water. Also have some periods of relaxation. Time for you during the day, even 10 minutes if you can. Just stand outside your door, taking some fresh air or a walk, because emotional eating is quite common. We eat when we are stressed and we can't help it. Um, and again, yep, swap to healthy snacks. So, what are some healthy snack options? Again, it's going back down to basics. So, um, handful of healthy snacks. I love a trail mix. It's what the States call it. And I've actually got a recipe for you on the next slides. Handful of nuts and dried fruit and other components. Absolutely delicious. Nut butter. Have you tried nut butter? And I'm not talking about peanut butter, because peanut butter it's actually peanuts are a mold, so you want to kind of stay away from peanut butter. But almond or hazelnut butter, perfect snack on oat cakes, gluten free if you want. Oat cakes, I remember when I was traveling and I kind of lived on nut butter and oat cakes as my snack in the afternoon. Have a look at some protein bars in the afternoon, or if you have enough time, make your own. But be careful, because some of them can be quite high in sugar. Chocolate. Now, you may think, oh my God, there's no way that I get to 85% cacao. And I thought the same until I gradually, slowly worked my way up 60, 70 to 80. But there's no way that I can do 100% now. It's just too bitter. But you work your way up to 70 or 85% chocolate, and a little bit every now and again. Protein, we mentioned, will fill you up, so try and include some snacks that have got protein in. I keep some hard-boiled eggs in the fridge generally all the time, so if I need a quick snack, it's there. And then dips are always a favourite. Even if you have to buy some dips in a supermarket, they're much better than like a chocolate bar. So have a look at those. But as I said, most importantly, if you do find yourself snacking, keep snacks on you the whole time. So keep some in the fridge. So when you are in a stressful time, you have something to snack on. Because it's so easy when you're in the middle of something and you're either in the middle of a work presentation or kids running around, or you're a bit bored, to eat and pick up something quick. It's there. So have something in the fridge that is healthy that you can quickly pick up on. Okay, right. This is the trail mix, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So what you need to do is just get a selection of different types of nuts. So have a look at some different types of nuts, maybe that you haven't had before. You want to try, and some seeds, some dried fruit. So be careful of some dried fruit that contains sulfites, and these are sulfite is a substance that's found naturally in some foods, but they're also used as an additive to maintain colour in some foods, and also preservatives. And a lot of people do not feel well on them. Sulfites can be found in things like wine, beer. Have you heard of some wine have actually labelled sulfites free, because if you have too much wine full of sulfites, you can make if you have a hangover, it can make it worse. But a lot of people I know have sulfite-free wine, and they actually feel better the next day on it. So dried fruit, things like ketchup and canned fruit and veg have sulfite, so be careful with those. So what you do is you mix them all together in a container. And what I do is, if I need to go out somewhere, I'll just take a handful and put it in a small tub, or like a little bag, just to keep in my handbag, just in case that I need it. So, love your gut. I don't know if you heard that we love our guts in the nutrition world. So I'm going to talk really about the bacteria, and a little bit of background on our digestive system, so you can understand the importance of it. So your gut actually travels from your mouth to your anus. In fact, some people say digestion actually starts in the brain when we actually think about food. So the gut and its components, like the beneficial bacteria, help to break down food. They help to absorb nutrients, and they're involved in immunity and excretion of toxins. And they help with energy production and mental function. Again, it's that gut brain. So when the gut is not working as it should, it can lead to weight imbalance, poor mental function, like a foggy head, concentration is low, maybe upset stomachs, infections. So can you see why healing the gut and getting the gut working properly is so important to our well-being? So the gut holds trillions of bacteria. We've got friendly bacteria, opportunist bacteria, some not so friendly, and they all work together to keep us healthy. So beneficial bacteria are easily influenced through lifestyle, habits, and our environment. And there's some research at the moment to say even our emotions and stress will affect our gut bacteria. So when the bacteria is imbalanced, this can actually lead to weight gain. When the microbes within our gut lack diversity, there's maybe a decreased number or they are just imbalance, it can actually lead to some issues with weight. And certain kinds of bacteria in the gut directly result in poor regulation of metabolism. So that is how fast we burn energy, and again also contribute to weight. So imbalances in the microbiome of your digestive organs interfere with those organs, communicate with the brain. And there are several hormones that the body produces that are responsible for telling your brain that you are hungry. Ghrelin, I should say, is a hormone made in the lining of the stomach, and it increases hunger. Just think, oh, it's hungry, your stomach's rumbling. Leptin is a hormone made in fat cells, the stomach, and other areas that decreases hunger. So when there is an imbalance in the bacteria, there can be an imbalance in these two hormones. So their production is disrupted, and your body is sending improper signals of hunger and fullness to your brain. And again, it'll affect weight if that's happening. Now, slimming bacteria, coming on to slimming bacteria, so there's two types of bacteria that's shown to be lacking in people who have excess weight. So Bacteroides and Firmicutes, what a mouthful. Over people, some research has shown that people that carry a little bit of extra weight may have a greater proportion of Firmicutes to Bacteroides, while lean people have more of the other one. The reason these bacteria affect our weight is because they regulate how much fat we absorb. So how do we know what we have? We don't, unless we test. But tests are expensive, and are they really necessary? No, not all the time. What we can do is we need to start feeding the bacteria with foods that support it. So this is when prebiotic foods and probiotic foods come into play. So prebiotic foods are the non-digested fiber that passes through your digestive system, and upon reaching the colon, they get fermented by bacteria and are therefore a source of fuel for your good bacteria to do their job. So in effect, they are feeding your beneficial bacteria. Your beneficial bacteria need food in order to function correctly. Probiotics has been on in the media for such a long time. You can actually get probiotics in capsules. You may have some already, but these are foods that have been naturally fermented. So the natural bacteria in the food feeds on the sugar and starch in that food, producing something called lactic acid through a process called lactofermentation. Now, harmful bacteria are unable to survive in this environment, only the beneficial ones. So, can you see how important it is to have a selection of prebiotic and probiotic foods in your diet? But not all fermentation helps with this, as for example, in the process of making wine, because in the process of making wine, there's a kind of a step removed in the actual process of making it. So this is your plan for the gut. So I want you to start including some food for your beneficial bacteria. So things like chicory. Chicory is normally found in the chill cabinets by the lettuces and the cucumber. It's like a long, thin. It's like a root vegetable. And garlic and onions and leeks. Dandelion greens. Have you got any growing in your garden? They're great, maybe just to add to a salad. So we need diversity. We need a selection of these. And then also your fermented products, that's your probiotic foods. So have you tried sauerkraut before? What about kimchi? They're kind of similar things. You can actually buy them in supermarkets now. Kefir and kombucha, they're drinks made with beneficial bacteria. And also you can get probiotic yogurt now. So try and have something daily, even if it's like a teaspoon of sauerkraut at lunchtime, and then maybe a different type of vegetable with your evening meal, like some asparagus when it's in season, with your main meal. But variety is the key here. And of course, you can buy some really great probiotic foods from health food stores nowadays, and you can actually make your own if you've got time. So, basically, to recap, these steps are really quick, they're really simple, and if you do them, you should be able to notice some differences. They are a good step, a good foundation, and if you follow them, they should be good. And if there's one step that I would say out of all of them, that would be the first one. Look at your carbs and when you are eating them. So, actually, is there a bigger challenge here? Something bigger that needs to be resolved? Actually, yes, there is, and it's toxins, unfortunately. So actually, you know a couple of things already. You know the foods that contribute to weight gain, and you know some of the foods to support your health. And of course, not forgetting lifestyle, like exercise is really important here as well. But did you know that weight can be affected by toxins? So you may find it hard to shift the excess weight. You may find the weight loss is temporary. You may also have poor skin, do you? Or low moods, tiredness, frequent infections or concentration. This all could be contributed to storage of toxins. So what are toxins? It's defined as a foreign substance to the body causing damage, and that's actually taken from a source. They told that was a phrase that they used. Exhaust fumes, pesticides, chemicals, cleaning products, smoking, and one of my all-time favorites, or ones that I hate or do not like. And I bet this one's so easy to reduce. You can actually do it right now in your home. Do you have any of the air fresheners that plug in the wall? If so, it's sending out toxins every minute of the day. Okay, you can just go around your home right now, put them in the bin. There are other natural things that you can do, essential oils if you're okay with them, or incense sticks. Fresh air, opening a window is fantastic. So, our bodies are actually very clever. It's wonderfully created that they can actually get rid of toxins, through the liver, the kidneys, the gut, the skin, the lungs. These are some of the main ones. But the key is we are exposing our bodies to more and more toxins through breathing them. eating, drinking, putting stuff on our skins. At some point, it's like the body just gives up. The body says, no, I just can't keep up with the removal. So what does the body do? This is really important. The body stores toxins in fat cells. So when on a diet plan, you may naturally lose weight, but the body will not lose the fat if it thinks the toxins it's going to release will cause damage to the body. So the fat cell is keeping the body safe by holding on to that toxin. So there is a need to ensure that your detoxification system, remember all the organs and there's a whole system going on, working with them, is working effectively to remove the toxins, either in your system, such as a recent exposure now, or toxins already stored in the cells. So that is why most calorie restricted diets may not work, especially in the long term for fat loss, because the fat cells are holding onto the toxins. So what impacts on the effectiveness of the detox system? Unfortunately, nothing we can do really about this. Genetics, things that are passed on from our parents. There might be some cells or hormones that maybe aren't working as effectively as they should. Your current and past exposure from both external things and internal things to the body. And also this lifestyle, our emotions are said to be toxic to the body, especially negative ones, lack of movement. Because one way to help the lymph system work effectively is through exercise. By doing exercise, we're working the lungs. Again, remember, lungs is an organ of detoxification. And through exercise as well, you are sweating. So there's a fast-paced sweating, I should say, and that's through your skin. So remember, your skin is an organ of detoxification as well. So doing some exercise is great to help remove toxins. So have you actually noticed this? That initially you lose weight at a rapid pace, then kind of weight loss slows down a bit and can be less motivated, and then suddenly you just can't lose anything. And what do? You feel unmotivated, unhappy, and you eat more. And we know why, because there's a certain point on weight loss that, well, actually, you don't know this already, but I'm telling you this now. There's a certain point where on weight loss diets, you will hit that toxic layer on cells. And then the body goes, I'm not going to remove that. The fat is holding onto the toxin. So what do we need to do? We need to help the body process the toxins effectively, and therefore continue with the weight loss. So this is your time. This is your life and your time now to really address these. So what we can do is option number one. You have got some fantastic 3 steps to start with. Okay. Timing the carbs, the snacks, and looking at your gut and those good bacteria. But what if you could help deepen the process, the results further, have sustained weight loss, be able to tackle those toxins? What if you wanted to have someone to answer your questions along the way, to make you stay motivated, to be with people who have the same end goal as you, to motivate you, to have an understanding of what foods to eat and easy, simple recipes? So there's another option, and actually we can do this together on a 21-day Super Summer Cleanse program, where we do the program with each other to help with weight loss and to support our detoxification system. So as mentioned, this program is to help the body lose weight and also to help reduce the toxic load. So this isn't a cleanse program where only juices are taken, because in order for the body to detoxify, your body needs a range of nutrients. For example, your liver is the prime organ for detoxification. This is what everyone thinks of, and your liver has to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 phases, maybe 5 phases of detoxification to change that toxin into a suitable suitable molecules so it can be released by the body. And each of those phases that the liver goes through needs certain nutrients. So it needs the food and certain nutrients in the food. So that is why a lot of juices and cleansers don't work, because you need the food to be able to make your liver work effectively. So it's eating real food. But of course, there will be some delicious smoothies to try as well. Remember, it's not calorie restricted. So, would you like to start on your healthy eating program now? Do you need something that is really simple, easy to follow, yet go at your own pace? A food that is, and I've just put in generally today, widely available, because I've noticed that sometimes there's some things that you still can't get in supermarkets, but maybe they're in the next day. So the program is it's a written program that has lots of information for you, but it's done with some flexibility. So as well as like going at your own pace, myself and other people in the program, we're there to encourage and stretch you. Like, can you do a little bit further? It will suit a variety of diets. Be part of community. We're all doing it together. Professional support by myself to answer your questions. And sometimes this can reduce the overwhelm with so much information out there, and be a part of a plan that actually gets results. So you receive delicious recipes, and recipes that are targeted to each organ of detoxification. And we will go through what's included in each week, so that's really important. And you get a meal plan, you'll get a 1 week meal plan, but then you'll get a blank meal plan. So you can choose and select from the recipes what you would like, or you can do the same week all over again. And then you get some information, some background information. I've called them worksheets, but it's really some information about why we're doing what we're doing. Progress planner, it's fantastic to see how far you've come. And I use these on past online groups, because sometimes you don't really realize how well you've done until you've looked right back at the beginning. There is like a little daily protocol for each week that I've set up to get you going, so you can have a look at that. Private Facebook group, we can all talk together and share information. There's a private membership site where you have access to all the documents, weekly Facebook support, and also something, group energy sessions, 3 of them. Now, this is the thing that no other nutritionist is doing with healing that I know of, and definitely no one, I can say definitely 98% sure, no one with the healing that I do with Vortex Healing. So we'll come more into that later, but you don't really need a large amount of time, because this is a plan that's quick, easy, simple to put in place. You don't need lots of fancy kitchen equipment. You don't need dehydrators and things like that. A blender would be helpful, because there are a couple of smoothies, and you don't need lots of money for additional items. I think I've recommended maybe just getting a couple of jars, because there's a recipe for something that's nice to kind of keep in the fridge. And there may be some small additional things for your baths, maybe quite nice as well. But those additional items that you can pick and choose if you want to use those as well. So week 1. Okay, we're going to go much more in depth on the timing of food. So I've only talked about the timing of food in relation to really carbohydrates and your last meal. But if you really want to see some really good results, then week 1 is where you find out more about timing of foods and when you eat. There's a whole science about this. And do you remember I mentioned about biohacking techniques? This is one of them, intermittent fasting biohacking technique. It's amazing, and you will not go hungry, and you do it at your own pace. We'll also review types of toxins. Again, we'll go in depth on the organs of detoxification. And there's a checklist of toxins to reduce and eliminate. Again, on all weeks, you get a daily schedule, an action plan, and a healing session. I'm conscious of time now and keeping you, so I'm going to quickly whiz through these. Week 2, we're going to look at through the second organ of detoxification. We're going to look at the clean 15 foods to eat, the dirty dozen, and again, the schedule, action plan, energy session. Week 3, the liver and the kidneys we're going to look at, and all foods to support those. We're going to have a look at alkalinity and foods that are acid as well, so that's really important. Daily schedule, action plan, and energy session. So what's different about this program? I've got 20 plus years experience in health and wellness industry, so it's all that knowledge, research based. It uses evidence medicine, so in clinical trials, and how people feel in clinic settings as well. It's great to have some short-term results so we can see them. Great, let's do that, but also looking at long-term health benefits. It's a quick and easier approach. Go at your own speed. It recognizes that everyone is different. Your body is different from my body, so we need to have a look and we need to make some adjustments. It recognizes the mind-body connection. This is what's often missing on online programs. No one is doing group energy sessions, and the personal support is there as an option. So don't take my word for it. I ran several programs already. Here's a couple of clients, and they feel better already. They slipped into an unhealthy eating plan. This is great. Another one that I ran for 28 days to reset her body. Just fantastic. Now, this is a bit of a longer one, but what this lady was saying is she found it difficult to follow at first because she was outside of her routine. Something came up. She had to go to hospital for a client, so she's traveling backwards and forwards. But the most important thing here is she got back on track, and that's what you do. If you have a bad day, 2 bad days, then we get back on track again. It's fine. She managed to drop a size in clothes. She feels less bloated and lighter and more determined than ever. She's listening to the Yoga Nidra guided meditation that I gave her as well. Mind-body connection. So, we touched on this earlier about the connection behind the emotions behind weight and the holding of toxins. So think about this. Are you unconsciously holding onto some emotional feeling? Are you an emotional eater? Do you have toxic people around you? Do you have toxic thoughts like, I'm not good enough? Maybe you just got a deep, sluggish system. So what these energy sessions are, they're healing sessions. They're able to shift if the body is ready to let go, blocks in the energy and transform them. So it allows the body to self-heal. Now there are 3 sessions, one each week. One of them will do the root cause of weight gain. And then the other 2 will be decided when the group is set up. But this is all you do. You don't do anything. You just simply relax for an hour in a quiet place, and I will be channeling the energy to you on the specific topic. Yeah, I think the first one we actually do the root cause of weight gain. It's going to be different for different people, but we'll work on that because that is so important. So again, what do you receive on a roll? There's an intro module, access to the Facebook group and login portal. And then week 1, you'll generally get most of the information in week 1. And then weeks 2 and 3, you will get the protocols and the information about the different types of organs there. So you don't need to dedicate that much time because we're all busy. You just need to just run through a few sheets, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Facebook is always there. There'll be a live or a video just summarizing each week, seeing how you're doing. We can arrange that, and just time for a healing session. The healing session, if you're not used to it, is optional. You don't have to attend if you don't want to. But I highly recommend this to you. So what is the investment in your health? So the rate for a professional nutritionist for a 1-hour consultation can be £200. It can be more. And you're getting 6 hours minimum professional time during this course and program. So the masterclass is actually valued, I did another calculation today, it's actually valued at more than £410. But today, if you wanted to work on the program with me, it's £310. You're actually saving £100. Think about what's the value of this to you. The benefit, supporting your weight loss, healthy weight, and you could start right now. You can see improvement in other areas of your life. We're really under a lot of stress now. The best way that you can help yourself and others is to reduce your stress loads. It's easy to follow. We are doing it together. You are getting nutrition and energy work together for deeper healing. I really want you to take this up for your own health. You know, it's a strange time. Finances can be short, so I'm doing a real special offer for the next 48 hours of £239, and you can use a special code of 171 on checkout. And I'm actually just going to put the code in the chat box now for you. Okay, let me put in the code. Okay, this is tricky because the code is not coming up there. So I might actually just have to come out and put it in there. Okay, I'll put it in a moment. But you know, just remember, think of the value of your weight loss and how it make you feel if you could lose maybe 8 to 10 pounds a month, have more energy, better sleep, improve mood. And this is all achievable within this time. Within an extra week, you can actually do this. Plus, remember, you have the energy sessions to help you with the deeper healing, the deeper releases that no other nutritional program is offering to kickstart your weight loss. So take this advantage now. So if there is interest in this program, I'm willing to leave the Facebook group open at the end of the program as well. So a couple of other benefits for you. Bonus, you get access to my practitioner discounts on products. So 10% on some food, lifestyle products, supplements, essential oils, shampoos. I give that to you not only on the program but afterwards as well. And if only for the 48 hours, people, you will get a free Yoga Nidra guided meditation with an intention that's called a Sankalpa. So it's a 30-minute recording, guided meditation. You lie down each week and it will help instill the mentality of weight loss deep inside your system, but without you focusing on the mind. It takes you right deep down into your system where that information is just going in, and it's really powerful. So this is too good to miss. So I'm going to put the registration link in the chat box now. So I'm going to have to come out of the share, but the program actually starts on the 15th of August. So let me find the link. I will put this in there now for you. There you go, you have that there. So let me get back up the presentation. So if there's any questions by anyone, by all means, you can ask them now. But some questions that were previously asked is how much to expect to lose. So on average, you can lose about £10 per week. So on a program, it's like £6 over 4 weeks, maybe up to half a stone. What if you can't follow the plan? The plan is flexible, so you can go at your own pace. However, try to stretch yourself. So we in the whole group were there to encourage you to share recipes and progress. This is suitable for vegan diets, vegetarian diets, gluten-free diets, fish and meat diets as well, so you have a selection of recipes there. So if there's any other questions in the question box, just let me know. But remember, this is your life, your time, to really do something about it. So thank you very much. Just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on this call. If you have any questions afterwards, then please just do let me know, get in contact, and I will send this video out now to everyone who has registered for it. Okay, thank you very much and have a good evening. Bye-bye.